Patriots fans, welcome to the New England Football Edition with Richie Rich. So, Patriots fans, big week next week as we're less than 72 hours for the legal tampering on free agents to begin at noon on Monday, March the 10th. Last week, it was all about the Combine in Indianapolis, where head coach Mike Vrabel and the front office got a chance to look at the upcoming prospects that's going to be drafted starting on April 24th in Green Bay to help the future of your New England Patriots. But free agency starts next week, and that is a big chance for your team to retool, reposition themselves on improving their roster. Now, my question to you as fans, if you were in charge of your New England Patriots, what would you do? Where would you begin to reestablish your team and give that winning culture back to your franchise? What would you do? I'd be interested to see if you would leave some comments under my videos, giving me some ideas how to improve these videos as well. But I'm going to lay out what I think the New England Patriots should do to reestablish that winning culture in Foxboro. Head coach Mike Vrabel said that the team was going to be vastly changed. The roster was going to be vastly improved. They had a plan in place at the Combine, players that they would look at. They have a plan in place with the free agency period coming up. He alluded to the fact that a lot of teams are going to be looking at the same players. And if the team had to pivot and move into other options, they would quickly do that. He also said they were not going to just pick players just to pick players. They had a strategic plan in place that they were going to go into the free agency period looking to pick players, sign players. My plan will outline what I think they should do. I think they should start out left tackle. That is a must. You need to come away with a left tackle in free agency. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Secondly, you have to improve the offensive line. Bring in some offensive guards. Maybe a right tackle. You need to go after defensive linemen. Shore up the edge. Linebacker, that's a need. I would bring in a linebacker. Cornerback. Wide receiver. You need to bring in another wide receiver to help your young quarterback, Drake May. Your New England Patriots is going to have north of $127 million to spend in free agency. Tops in the league. They have the most cash to spend in the NFL right now. I think they need to hit on 5 players in free agency. Most of all, the left tackle position. You need to come away with the left tackle. So that leads me to my next segment. Offensive line candidates would be Baltimore's left tackle, Ronnie Stanley. That is your top target. You need to come away with him. I think if you're the Patriots, if you do not land him, it's a major fail. But if you do not land him, there's other people out there that I would go get. Offensive tackle, Cam Robinson from Minnesota. He has played for offensive line coach Doug Marrone in the past. So I think if you do not get Ronnie Stanley, you have to hit on Cam Robinson. That's a must. Other offensive linemen I think that the team should target. Tevin Jenkins, guard from Chicago. Offensive guard, Dan Moore from Pittsburgh, who can play multiple positions. That's on the offensive line side of the ball. On the defensive line side of the ball, Milton Williams from Philadelphia. Edge rusher, Super Bowl winner, Milton Williams. I think you need to grab him. He's definitely a target I would go get. Edge rusher, Azeez Ojulari from New York, the football Giants. Edge rusher, Malcolm Kuntz with the Raiders. Then pivot into linebacker, Jalen Sherrod from the Jets. Linebacker, Devin Bush from the Cleveland Browns. Head coach, Mike Vrabel, was just in Cleveland, so he might have insights on his playing style that could fit the New England playing style that they are going to establish. Now, on the offense, the offensive side of the ball, beginning with your line, left tackle Ronnie Stanley or Cam Robinson. That has to be, no questions asked, that has to be the target. Left guard, Tevin Jenkins from Chicago. I mentioned him earlier. He's big. He's fast, arm strength. He can keep defenders off the ball. I would slot him right in to your left guard spot. Caden Wallace, who you drafted last year, on your left guard spot, or he can develop. Center, David Andrews or Cole Strange could be your starting centers. And then I would draft a center. Right guard, Michael Weno. He's your lock. He's your starter. Guard Layden Robinson, who you drafted last year, can still develop. Right tackle, Dan Moore, who I mentioned from the Pittsburgh Steelers, free agent. He can play multiple positions, but I think he can fit your role as your right tackle. And that would give you your starting offensive line as well as your depth at offensive line. I forgot to mention DeMontre Jacobs. He can be your right tackle. He can develop and be your backup right tackle. Now, that's your offensive line. That would be solid. That's where I would, if I was running the New England Patriots, I would begin to assemble my offensive line for the future that will be tough. Keep Drake May upright, allow for your wide receivers to get open, and allow for your running backs to hit the holes and get yards and move the chains. Now, move into the defensive side of the ball. I would start free agency by signing Milton Williams, the defensive edge from the Philadelphia Eagles. Looks like the Patriots are going to go to a 4-3 defense. That has not been confirmed, but I think they're going to go to 4-3 defense. Christian Barmore would be on the defensive line. Devin Godshaw would be on the defensive line as of today. There's been rumors that the Patriots have allowed him to seek a trade, so they might move on from him. Defensive edge, Keon White, he would be a big target. Free agent targets, Malcolm Kuntz with the Raiders. He's big and powerful. He could be a fit for the Patriots defensive strategy. Azeez Ojulari from the New York Football Giants would be another target on the defensive edge side of the ball. And then I would draft an edge rusher, defensive lineman, and groom him for the defensive line for the future. Moving on to the outside linebacker spots, I would target Jaminian Sherwood from the Jets. Good fit for the linebacker core in your redesigned linebackers room. Middle linebacker, Juwan Bentley, coming off the injury, will look to regain his leadership role on the defense. Then I would target outside linebacker Devin Bush to solidify the linebacking role. And then I would also draft a linebacker and develop him for the future. Jack Sawyer from Ohio State could be a good target to draft. The linebacker from Notre Dame, he could fit the role as well. So that's what I would do on defense with the linebackers and the line. But the key in free agency, you got to build through the trenches on the offense and the defense. You got to solidify the offensive line, beginning with the left tackle position, and the defensive line with the edge position. That would be my two targets. Some other areas in free agency I would target if I was the Patriots, maybe add a cornerback, maybe tight end, a running back. That would fill out the roster as well as add good depth to your team. I would look at drafting a tight end and a running back in the draft. The NFL draft is solid at the defensive line position, tight end, running back positions, so you might be able to add good depth there. That's what I would do if I was in charge of the New England Patriots. I want your input. I want your questions that you may have for me, answers that you may have for some of the players that I have just proposed. Now, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of March. So if you loved my video or liked my video, please hit the like button below and subscribe to my channel. Help promote my channel as we are trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of March. So let's go, New England Patriots. Go get your free agent targets that you target. Bring in a big left tackle and let's go. This has been Richie Rich with the New England Football Edition. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll be on my video, all breaking news that happens with the Patriots over the next week. I'll be out there to let you know what's going on. Thank you, Richie Rich with the New England Football Edition.